Hi Upstream. We're going to be making fleece tie blankets today, and this video is going to be short because many of you have already made them. In fact, those of you who are at Med Tech have already made them before. So I'm just going to give you a couple little tips or tricks. First off, if you threw away your tag, go get it out of the trash can because your instructions are on the back of it, okay? And these are all the instructions we need. Next, as you can see, I've got my fabric out over here. You're supposed to line or put it on the floor, but really if you put it on a dirty floor, the fleece is going to pick up all that dirt. So before you even want to spread out, you want to make sure your floor is clean and even make your folks' day by maybe vacuuming first. Okay, so, one last thing before we start. You're going to need scissors, and the type of scissors does matter. Kid scissors, like that you used in elementary school, are not going to work. You're going to want to ask your folks which scissors you can use because they need to be sharp, but also they're going to end up being dull by the end of this. So like these scissors, these are really beautiful. They're lovely. However, it takes a little bit more strength to use them. These ones are easier, and you're going to be making lots and lots of cuts. So you're going to want something that's sharp but easy to use. But ask your folks permission. Like if your mom is a quilter, don't use her quilting scissors unless she tells you you can. You will be in huge trouble, okay? So you ask your folks which scissors you can use. If we look on our instructions, we're actually going to go right to project tips. It says cut both layers of fleece at the same time. So when we do make our cuts, we are going to do that. We're going to be cutting through 2 layers of fleece at the same time. And it says trim off selvage edges to make both pieces the same size. Now, as you can see, I've got my 2 pieces of fabric, my 2 pieces of fleece. Now, Rebecca, if you want to show right here, this edge actually has teeny tiny little holes in it. This is what we call a selvage edge, and we're going to actually cut that off. I also have a selvage edge on the bulldog print. We have our fleece laid out. Now the instructions say to lay your right sides out. And that means that because some of you will see this in your fleece, that one side of the fleece is brighter or more brilliant. The brilliant side, the brighter side, the better side goes out. The dull side goes in. And that's the same even if you have a solid. Sometimes there might be one side that's prettier than the other, and that goes out. So you have pretty side and the normal or the ordinary sides are in between, pretty side on the back. And that's how you have to lay it out. Now that it is laid out, we're going to go ahead and cut all the selvage edges off, and we're also going to cut, as you can see here, this doesn't match up. The bulldog print is shorter than the other. So we're going to cut those sides together to make sure it's all even. Ready to make the fringe edge. Most of the mistakes that we make when we're making this is that we don't have even cuts. Like some of our cuts will be long, like cutting all the way in here to Bow Wow's, head here, and then some might only get to his eye, and that makes really uneven cuts, and it kind of makes your blanket all wonky. So the thing to do is to make sure that every cut is the same length. Now, the instructions say to make 5-inch cuts. I don't know about you, I rarely have a ruler at home. They're always at school, but I found that this actually is just about 5 inches. So you could actually go ahead and line up your instructions and make cuts like this, all the way to the tip. Now you're supposed to make those cuts 1 inch apart. Well, guess what? The blank space right here is about 1 inch. So you can even set it up again, make the cut there, and then cut to where you did before. And do it again. And cut to you where you were before. The big thing is you want 1-inch pieces about 5 inches long. Once we've done all of that, then we're going to start tying. You might find though that you might want to have somebody on the other end either holding it, or maybe you want to tape it if you can tape it to your floor. So that way the fleece actually remains taut and it doesn't kind of curl up on you. But we'll come back when it's all cut. As you can see, we are almost done with the cutting I love how my daughter had to get creative about how to actually cut on that side. And as you can see, we ended up making a little template. So she has just a piece of cardboard. It's actually from a priority mailbox. And we ended up using that, using the instruction cardboard as a guide to get about 5 inches tall and 1 inch wide. So we're almost ready to tie. We're ready to tie. We're going to take the top piece and the bottom piece, and you're just going to make a knot, and then you're going to make a second knot. You're always going to want to double tie. If you don't, it's very easy to come apart. But if you double knot it, it's stronger. So 1, 2, and then just do it all the way around. As you can see, we're done. This is actually the perfect lap size blanket. It's great for snuggling up on the couch or playing video games for those of you who got the gamer blankets, or for doing your schoolwork. The only thing, as I was doing this, I did what the instructions said. I cut 5-inch slices, or in fact, my daughter Rebecca cut 5-inch pieces. Next time, I might only do 4 inches because I like the look of a 4-inch cut versus a 5-inch cut. But you can decide. You can see which cut looks right for you. This blanket, I think, is gonna go to Heritage Place because I don't need any more fleece blankets right now, and they can always use them because they actually fit perfectly over the people's laps when they're in their wheelchairs. I hope you had fun making yours, and I hope you have a wonderful time curling up with your blanket.